Question 21. The Ottoman Empire likely entered into a conflict referred to in the passage because it shared religious and cultural values with Germany and Austria-Hungary. It had undertaken significant political and economic reforms in the late 19th century. C. It had lost significant territory to other European states in the 19th century. Or D. Its economy significantly lags behind those of other European powers. 22. Which of the following best explains why the British government felt the need to distribute the pamphlet? A. British authorities were concerned that going to war against a Muslim country would fuel anti-imperialist protests among India's large Muslim population. B. Many people in Britain regarded the First World War as a religious conflict between Christian and Islamic states. C. Religious tensions between India's Muslim and Christian population significantly increased because of the outbreak of the First World War. Or D. British passenger ships and shipping companies made significant profits by transporting Muslim pilgrims on the Hajj from India to Mecca and Medina. Every denial of justice, every beating by the police, every demand of colonial workers that is drowned in blood, every scandal that is hushed up, every punitive expedition brings home to us the values of our old societies. They were communal societies, never societies of the many for the few. They were societies that were not only pre-capitalist, but also anti-capitalist. They were democratic societies always. They were cooperative societies, fraternal societies. I make a systematic defense of the societies destroyed by imperialism. Ami Cesare, Afro-Caribbean intellectual, in Discourse on Colonialism, 1953. Question number 23. Cesare's statement above was most likely made in response to A. The growing superpower influenced in Africa and Asia during the Cold War. B. The success of the Indian independence movement. C. European colonizers' claim that the rule had improved lives in the colony. Or D. Leaders of the colonialization movement argued that the adoption of the parliamentary democracy after achieving independence. Question 24. Before 1870, the European presence in Africa was characterized primarily by A. Military conquest of large territories administered by military states. C. Intense colonization and settlement of large areas. B. Intense colonization and settlement of large areas. C. Active international attraction through trade and diplomacy. D. Coastal enclaves for trade and few settlements. Or E. Frequent coastal raids along with racial segregation imposed on conquered people. Question 25. Reviewing this map, the trade patterns shown in the map above depict A. British imports of raw cotton and exports of finished cotton in the 1850s. B. Major slave trading routes in the 19th century. C. Alternate trade routes that developed as a result of the distribution caused by the Napoleonic Wars. D. Routes that developed in response to the building of railroads in North America. Or E. Illicit drug routes that developed in the second half of the 20th century. Map 1. The growth of the Russian Empire, 1533 to 1894. Map 2. Growth of the Japanese Empire, 1870 to 1942. Question 26. The developments depicted in Map 2 most directly emerge from which of the following developments in the late 19th and early 20th centuries? A. European economic imperialism in Qing China. B. Government-sponsored industrialization as part of the Meiji reforms. C. American and European influence over Tokugawa Japan. Or D. Increasing questions about political authority and growing nationalism. Question 27. In the 19th and early 20th century, social Darwinists made which of the following arguments? A. All people should be treated equally. B. Human evolution had reached the point where competition was no longer necessary. C. Theories of natural selection could be applied to nations, races, and social classes. D. Interracial marriage should be encouraged. Map 1. Southeast Asia, circa 1910. Map 2. Southeast Asia, circa 1960. During the 19th century, which of the following was most directly motivated the major expansion of imperial territories in Southeast Asia as shown in Map 1? A. The influence of Christian missionary groups. B. The desire to extract resources and raw materials. C. Profits from the global trade in spices and textiles. Or D. Threats by Asian states to European transoceanic trade. 29. After the abdication of the last Qing emperor in China in 1912, the new Republican government adopted a new national flag, the so-called Five Races Together in Harmony flag, in which 5 stripes represented the 5 main ethnic groups: the Han Chinese, the Manchus, the Tibetans, the Uyghurs, and the Mongols. The adoption of the new flag is an example of which of the following processes? A. Governmental efforts of new states to undo the tolerant ethnic and religious policies of their imperial predecessors in order to promote greater uniformity. B. Governmental efforts of new states to reduce their political and economic dependence on former colonial powers. C. Efforts by authoritarian governments to mobilize all segments of society for a conflict with foreign powers. D. Governmental efforts of multinational states to promote a new nationalist identity that would help prevent the emergence of ethnic separatism. Question 30. During the 19th century, Asian and African rulers usually desired transfer of which of the following Western technology most? A. Medicine. B. Weapons. C. Navigational instruments. D. Textile manufacturing equipment. E. Chemical fertilizers.